If anything, this episode proves that you don't have to be French to know how to use a white flag. Hello and welcome to the special Reboot edition of Charmed Chats with Kendra
and Kat. God damn it, Kendra.
Today we're covering Season 1, Episode 17, Surrender!
Oh, Jesus. You're crazy and I enjoy you.
I know.
Once again, I apologize if my voice is a little off. Just...
Weather shit
And my genetics and...
Our genetics have surrendered to the weather.
Yeah. Let's get a summary, shall we?
We shall. A young girl, terrified, runs through the woods and bangs on a door. It opens to reveal Nico. Harry, as punishment for having a relationship with Charity, is stripped of his white lighter powers. The girls are worried about Harry, and Galvin, and Parker. At Nico's, Mel meets Scarlett, who has a month of missing memories and some strange flashes of being captive with other women. Nico is wondering if this has a connection to the Sarkana. In a cobwebby barn warehouse type place, a man stands in a circle of glassy-eyed women demanding the return of his goddess Scarlett. He kills the one who resists and sends the others forth to find her. Maggie talks with Dr. Julia about Parker's prognosis. It's not good. She returns to find a powerless Harry rapidly aging in their living room. He reassures them about their destiny and goes to rest. Some of the glassy-eyed girls find Scarlett. Nico hears her scream, but is knocked out. Mel finds Jada prepping for Fiona to become more empowered. She pleads with Jada to help save Harry, but Jada refuses. Mel decides to take matters into her own hands and nearly exposes magic in public before the elders grab them and take them to the judgy chamber. They refuse the girls' requests and send them on home. Nico tells Mel of Scarlett's re-abduction, and Mel agrees to look into it with the Sarkana. The culprit, apparently, is named Viralis, who kills 10 women every 10 years with a penis dagger to stay alive. Maggie has the bright idea of going as bait to a poetry night and using Charity's tracker to find her once she's taken. It works like a fucking Charmed one, only she's not immune to Viralis's powers. Harry, charmingly older, still manages to help them. Viralis begins the ritual of surrender. It's hugely misogynistic and turns racist when he decides to kill the black girl first. Mel, Macy, and Harry arrive to find Nico already on the scene. Mel freezes her, then goes in. She's immediately attacked by Maggie. Outside, Fiona attempts to break into Harry's mind. Inside, Macy catches a glimpse of glowing blue faces. She chases Viralis up into a loft, and then fights him, and then stabs him in the dick with his dick dagger. It works! Then Mel goes outside and unfreezes everyone so Nico can make the bust. Dr. Julia tells Maggie the demon blood she got from Viralis is working, but won't allow her to see Parker, which makes sense since he's literally half smoke at the moment. The girls have one last tea with elderly Harry. Fiona arrives to save his life in exchange for the Charmed ones owing her one. Jada tries to interfere but is sent packing with a threat. Fiona takes Harry to the vortex, stamps a hole in the floor, and calls up a galactic hologram to read his mind. It fails, so she teleports him out. The end.
Yeah.
I gotta say, stabbing the dick with a dick dagger? The best. Lorena Bobbitt would be so proud.
It was interesting. Though, it was very much... It didn't look like a dick, that dagger. It was just
We didn't get a very good look at it, though.
It was red.
Yeah.
It was red and just, dagger-like.
It was, in a way, all daggers are phallic, but I guess it was that it had a weird shape toward the hilt where it looked like balls.
Maybe?
That was what I got from looking at it.
Yeah, maybe.
So...
I don't know.
Still, excellent dispatching, and Macy's got a good arm.
Yes, I liked the fact that she noticed that he
He's like the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, like, because he glows from the eyes and then appears.
Yeah, that was the logo, too.
Yeah, the logo was it, like, it went from this, like, bright light and then it disappeared into these...
The eyes in the middle of the words.
Yeah.
The
super
A and
cool.
the E, I think.
Yeah. They did a really good job with that. Like, the logos in the show, spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Top notch. Love it. Absolutely love it. It is brilliant.
Oh gosh, Mel would be so proud of Macy stabbing the dude in the dick too.
Yeah, absolutely. I did like I said, I like the fact that she realizes that he appears a moment after the eyes glow and like sees where he's gonna be and just chucks it and just smacks him right in the dick. And I was like,
yeah, that was good. Also, it reminded me of the one demon from like fucking season 3 of the original series, I think. The one woman who disappeared and all you would see was the outline of her eyes in red.
Yeah.
It was a little similar to this.
Yeah.
But also very Cheshire Cat, because the last thing to disappear are the glowy eyes. The first thing to appear are the glowy eyes. So
yeah.
Good tracking.
I like the fact that Scarlett mentioned the color blue, so I was like, okay, so I'm assuming all of the light in this is blue, like all of the like the eyes and the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm assuming it's all blue.
Yeah, it's a very neonish blue.
Yeah, it's very bright.
Somewhat like the mane on that unicorn tea strainer up there.
Okay, good to know.
Or the slangaroo.
Yeah,
that's a seal kangaroo. For those of you unaware of Gishwez.
Yep. Anyway, I really truly enjoyed the effect that they did for taking away Harry's white lighter powers.
Where he like cracked open and then
like,
they siphoned the sparklies out.
It was like white light
really
fracturing through him, and that was the coolest effect.
It was so cool. And then of course later Fiona sort of does a similar thing, but she doesn't like crack him open. And I don't know why it had to be like a bunch of planets and stars and actual like drawn out constellations.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it looked fucking cool.
It looked amazing, but I don't understand, like,
you almost think she was hunting for Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, like I don't know what she wants from his head. Like that's the one thing. I was like,
yeah, there's something in his memories that she wants. We don't know what.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to find out.
Yeah, it's going to be
also,
very interesting to find out.
It was super easy for her to reverse the aging thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was very interesting.
Well, I mean, all she had to do is just,
stomp a hole in the floor.
Stomp a hole in the floor. Yeah.
Who knows how that works? We don't need to know.
Yeah.
We just need to know that it worked.
Yep. Can I just say, Greta, totally not how I pictured.
I know.
Not even a little bit of how I pictured. Like, she's a skinny little white girl. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was getting like a little bit of Cameron Esposito vibe.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Like, but absolutely not even remotely how I pictured her.
No. And also,
like, not in a bad way, but
she had
with a
something...
name like Greta, you get an image in your head.
True, very true.
You know?
But she was putting on some kind of a charm at the door. Like, the way she was leaning.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nico told her about Mel, but it felt very much like posturing in her own territory a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was fun to watch, because then it made Mel very uncomfortable. Because also, I don't think Mel ever met Greta.
No, she did not.
Which I could have sworn she would have before, because...
No, I think she just heard about her a lot. Like, that Nico would talk about her a lot.
Maybe?
But I don't think they actually met. But the thing that, again, pisses me off a little bit about Mel, because I wish that she would remember that the Nico of this world is not the Nico she knew.
You hate Earl Grey.
Yeah, like, she fucks up in that moment.
But I did like that she didn't try to explain it away because she knew she couldn't. She just left.
Yeah, she's just like, never mind, gotta go.
I gotta leave, bye.
Yeah. But, like, that's the biggest thing that just drives me a little crazy with Mel, is, like, she keeps forgetting that this isn't the same Nico. And, like,
I mean, she doesn't have the intervening memories. She only has the memories that she made. So
Right.
that's like it's a very good consequence for the spell of, rewriting Nico's past or whatever. And obviously it would add to complications if she ever saw Nico again just like this. So it's a fun dynamic to work with where she's like, shit, I have to try and forget everything I know about you, but because of the spell I can't.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoopsie doodle. I don't hate that they keep
Also, what if
bringing
Nico
up
actually
things, but...
still hates Earl Grey?
Oh yeah, she probably does.
Well, she might not. I trained myself to like it, and I didn't like it before.
Well, but like she might still hate Earl Grey, but she's doing it because,
She might have hated Earl Grey.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. Or she still does, and she's just, Greta likes it, and so she's trying to like it. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it annoys me of that, like, moment of, like, you hate that. I'm sorry, what now? Like,
when did I possibly mention that?
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was very interesting was in that thing that we learned that because Scarlet has an S on her hand, which I thought looked like a 5.
I mean,
it was a little 5S.
It was it's tough to make concrete shapes in cutting on your hands.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I think it's interesting that Nico immediately goes to Sarkana because there's an S.
And you went to Superman?
No. Like I said, I went to 5.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was going to be a number on her hand because, there were 10 of them. She was number 5. That's what I thought. But it was also, her name is Scarlet.
True.
Like, there's an S on her hand. Her name is Scarlet. There was a few things where like, that was the other thing though, is like the S on their hand never really came up other than the fact that it was on their hand and it was a way of showing that they were somehow. Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, I don't know why that was entirely necessary other than to, have Nico being like, is this a Sarkana?
Yeah. That I think was really the only reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Was giving Nico some semblance of something as to why she would even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no other reason for it.
Yeah.
There just wasn't. I also think it's very funny that our Adam Lambert wannabe,
our Ian Somerhalder knockoff.
Yeah. Was in flared leather pants. Like bell-bottom leather pants.
And
like,
a peasant shirt. An embroidered peasant shirt.
Like, oh my god. The sad part is, like, he was cute, and I would have been like, yeah, I could see it. But, like, no, dude. Just no.
Yeah.
Though, I think it's very fun, though, of they are goddess. Okay, fine. So, Goddess Roxy and Goddess Scarlet, whatever. He needs 10... Right? So he wants Scarlet back, but then he kills Roxy.
But then he gets Scarlet back.
But he's still missing one. And
so he goes to poetry night.
So he goes to poetry night.
Okay, can I talk about this poetry night?
Oh
First of all, Maggie's poem, very specific to
Harry.
Their experiences. Yeah, she mentioned Harry and all that. And also it was extremely tropey. And then sitting on the couch are Macy and Mel tries to clap softly.
Yeah.
She of all people should know that you do snapping.
So
I would expect Macy to clap, but no, Macy's just like sitting there snapping, watching everyone else, and like Mel's like
the clapping. Yeah. I do think though that, and this just shows like I was dying in this. Just like
the beret.
The beret.
My God. The beret and the black leather jacket with the white stars on it.
Oh my god, the beret.
Oh, baby. Oh, and that shirt she was wearing, the half red, half white, black striped.
Yeah.
Reminded me of Two-Face.
Yeah, a little bit.
From the Batman movies.
A little bit.
I was like, she and Tommy Lee Jones would get along.
I also enjoy the fact that our dude V, I love that he calls himself V with his
how V pretentious
leather pants, leather bell bottoms is just like the funniest thing to me, and I don't know why.
Leather pants.
Thank you. But I love that that he leaves in like a puff of smoke.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was blue.
Yes.
But it was just like this puff of smoke, and they're gone, and I'm just like, yeah, Maggie, Dear sweet Maggie, just because you're a witch doesn't mean you're immune. Don't be stupid. You know that Charity, who is a fucking elder, was mesmerized by Alistair, who's a demon. Why do you think that you'd be immune? Just assuming this for no real reason.
Yeah. The power must be that once he hits on your ultimate, like, wish or whatever, then he has a hook in you. And as long as he can find that, he can get you.
Yeah.
So if you were just trying to, like, blanket mesmerize people, it probably wouldn't work on her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was just very funny to me that,
also,
that she was just like, I'm probably immune. I'm a witch after all. Like, we've seen that doesn't always work.
Yeah. I noticed when all of the girls were frozen and Maggie's just like sitting there swaying, he notices because he's trying to suck the soul out of the one girl. She hasn't stabbed herself yet.
Yeah.
The dagger was facing him when he was doing that.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, maybe he was sucking, so I don't think it was the weird kiss he did with Wendy before, but like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god, his fucking speech, though.
Huh. Yeah.
For what was it? For men to, like, grow or bloom or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can my eyes roll any harder?
No, I don't think they can without falling out.
They can't. I'll detach a retina.
Yep.
And then I'll have really blue eyes. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just super happy with the stabbing in the dick.
Yeah. I did think it was funny though that we learned that his blood is this blue sap stuff, and then we see him pouring the blood out of like a fucking water skin. And I was just like, oh, so that's how we're going to save Parker. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
There's a canteen full of his blood, you know, a la convenience. Sure.
Yep.
Though, can I say, this is another one of those episodes where we have a bit of a message with a capital M that just kind of was complete and utter.
Yeah, it was while they were looking at the book, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was something like it happens every spring. And I think it was Maggie who's like, spring, it's freezing. And
climate change is real, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, welcome to Michigan in March.
Yep.
Climate change is real, people. And like I said, like it was a very conversational thing because then it would just, they kept going.
Yeah.
And like, that's how you do a message. And I like it. Okay, backing up a little bit to them walking into the bar. Because Mel is like, we have to get the elders, you know, we have to try and talk to the elders and whatever. And the only way I know how to get to the elders, because they don't come to us, is by trying to use magic in public. So now here's my thing, right? They walk into a bar, and the first man that turns around and sees them decides to hit on them all.
Yep. Yep. That's peak classic straight white guy.
Yeah. And then... it seems to have gotten Mel what she wanted, because she, you know...
Freezes everything, climbs up on the bar, and then they're immediately dropped into Judgy McJudgerson chamber.
Yeah, and I totally recognized the lead elder chick from NCIS. Yep.
Oh, I recognized her shirt from last episode because Macy was wearing it. It was that white thing with like the little illusion neckline thing with the piping. It was like an inch wide. But like I saw that, I'm like, hang on a fucking second. Macy was wearing that before.
Yeah, I missed that.
Wardrobe, what are you doing? No, I think Macy was wearing it last episode when she started to freak out to Charity about not hearing from Elder Bari.
Yeah, I missed that. I wasn't paying close enough attention to that. I was too mesmerized by the two-tone sweater thing that she had on last episode.
Yes.
Yeah, the black lace and grandma sweater knit together.
And like college cardigan.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. But that was last episode. This is this one. I just think it's very funny though that so they get dropped into Elder Judgment Room, whatever. Yes. And they're mad about her flaunting magic in public. But then they don't bring her back
to the bar.
Or
even at the same time. It's morning when they get back.
Yep. And they drop them in the attic.
Yeah. Who knows what the fuck they did.
Like, I'm so confused by all
this. Maybe they dispatched an elder to go wipe that dude's memory because no one else would have seen them entering the bar.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was just a little weird.
It was a little weird.
The how dare you use magic in public? Here, now go over there instead of fixing what you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of using magic in public and fixing what you did, I love the fact that Mel goes back to Nico, and that because Nico is still thinking the Sarkana is involved, and she brings up the coincidence that they go into that warehouse and the bad guys are tied up and ready to, like, I love that she brought that up.
Yeah, because we never got to see the ending of that. It was just, next scene.
Yeah.
So clearly Nico hadn't suspected her for it. She was just like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then she's like, this is also weird. Hey, why are you always in the middle of all this weird shit?
Yeah. I really, really enjoy that we're getting Nico to have a clue.
Yeah, and we got the consistency when after they busted Vidic. I forgot his name. I don't care. And then they go back outside, and Mel's like, "Oh no, you were slightly over to the left a little bit," and like tries to get exactly in position, but of course has completely forgotten that there's a huge ass cut on her hand now that wasn't there 5 seconds ago.
It wasn't there a second ago for
Nico.
Yeah, and I love that Nico immediately noticed it.
Well, yeah,
that's the best part, is that she didn't like blow it off, whatever. Well, she kind of did, but like not for real. She was just like, she saw it and she goes, "Was it? Never mind. Let's do this." And then later
she's like, "Put a cream on that."
Yeah, I was like, you might want to
Neosporin that, babe.
Yeah. I love the fact that because Harry's human now, he also got frozen. Mm-hmm. And then Fiona comes in and she's like trying to get into his brain, but she can't. And then she smacks him. And I was like, oh, that's going to hurt when he unfreezes. And I love that when they unfroze, he immediately touched his face and was like, his jaw hurt.
I missed that.
Like, it was perfection because it was so subtle of that. Like, he's standing there like rubbing his cheek. Like, why does my jaw hurt? This getting old thing is weird. It was so great.
I completely missed that. I was so focused on Mel and Nico.
Oh, yeah. It was just beautiful.
Uh-huh. Yeah, all of the shit with Nico in this episode makes me think that, they're going to have to tell her about magic one of these days.
I think that's the weirdest part in all of this.
Like, we lost Galvin, who knew.
And now
we don't know if
he's
Nico coming back. Hopefully he will.
Hopefully.
We just don't know when, I guess.
Yeah.
Or when that plot point is going to get resolved one way or the other. But like they're teasing the idea of bringing Nico in on this because she's seen a little too much and they couldn't rectify it at the time because they didn't know. Mm-hmm. But like she saw Scarlet levitating and then she got hit with a fucking vase that went on her shelf.
Yeah.
Without anyone going toward her. So
yeah, she's definitely seen a little too much, and you can't really just wipe her memory of it all because that
would wipe her memory of everything else, and that would be extremely suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. I'm hoping that they bring Nico in and that she becomes
like their Andy.
Yeah.
Or their Daryl, I guess.
Yeah. But like part of me just wonders why they couldn't have told her before. I understand we needed this whole like plot line, whatever, of craziness. But I just wonder why they couldn't have told her before.
Maybe because her investigative position now is a potential liability for Mel and the Sarkana, and so she's reluctant to do that in the beginning.
But I think it's more in the first iteration of Nico, and this is where I'm kind of okay with the whole time change wackadoo craziness. The first iteration of Nico, she was a cop. Mm-hmm. She was still not really comfortable in her own skin for a while. And Mel finally like got her to break out of that and be more of herself. Mm-hmm. In this iteration, she's not a cop anymore. She's like a PI.
Yeah. And
so she went a completely different direction because she didn't move for Mel. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that she didn't have Mel in her life, she became more confident in herself faster.
Yeah.
Which is a slightly weird thing to think about, but it really is that Greta, for all of her faults and whatever that we heard about of the original Nico, Greta seems to have been a very good thing for Nico in this iteration of be more confident, be yourself, be a badass because you are one.
Yeah.
And do what you actually want to do. If you don't want to be a cop anymore, you want to be a PI, do that.
Yeah.
And so while it kind of is like, I'm sad that, we lost out on the happiness of our cute little lesbians, I'm kind of happy that it went this way because now we get Nico being a badass.
Very true.
And actually being able to handle the possibility of magic in the world. Because I don't think that the original Nico would have been able to handle it.
There was also a lot going on at that time.
Yeah, but it would have taken her a lot longer to be okay with it, I think.
Probably.
And this version of Nico, I think, is going to be like, well, I know that there's some crazy shit happening. I mean, I know what I've seen.
Yeah, Why
wouldn't magic be real?
Yeah. She's got a lot more breadcrumbs to work with, as opposed to just having a loaf thrown at her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. That's one of your weirdnesses that works. I like it.
You're welcome.
Flipping to the other story in this, the whole Parker storyline. I like that Dr. Julia still won't let Maggie see Parker because, he's got demon blood coursing through him. So he's like this little shadow cloud with like a lizard body made of ash.
Like a burned... I was about to say burned skeleton. Dr. Julia has the high ground here. That's Anakin.
Yes.
He looks like Anakin Skywalker in the fucking lava, but with added smoke detail.
Yeah, it was a little, like, literally, I wrote in my notes.
It looked really fucking cool.
He's like a lizard body of ash. That's kind of what it looked like. It was this weird thing. But you'd think that she would find a way to inject him without having to get so damn close to him.
Yeah.
You'd think.
I mean, she's just preoccupied, probably. Last time she did this, he was very little. So...
I'm
I like that she knows it would be extremely upsetting for Maggie and so doesn't want to expose her to that.
Right. And but it's one of those, like, I am worried for her, especially since all we see is she pulls out this glowing little needle and we don't see her actually get close to him, but we see how scared she is.
Yeah, he's fucking scary.
Yeah. And so it's like, I am very worried. Very, very worried for her. I don't know what's coming and I'm worried. Oh, that was the other thing, right? So Fiona.
Yeah.
She shows up to save Harry because he's apparently important. She wants the Charmed Ones in her debt. That makes perfect sense. But then Jada shows up and Fiona threatens her and says that she has 2 of her Sarkana members under her bed and they might still be alive if you hurry. What the fuck is up with Fiona?
Yeah, I know. Evil
like, this is getting weirder by the second.
I know.
I am terrified and intrigued.
It's fascinating. Like, she's not actively evil enough around the girls for them to spend energy figuring out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
But the audience is getting a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap.
Yeah, it is slightly terrifying.
And
kind of amazing.
Thrilling, I would say.
And, like, I am on this insanity train. I want to know where it's taking me. Like, it's a little crazy.
Yep.
But I'm aboard, and I'm okay with it. I think that's the worst part about this whole thing for this show with me, is I wish it didn't take 10 episodes for me to get into it, because now I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I wish it had caught me this way by episode 3. Instead of taking so long to actually make me give a shit. And giving me plot lines where it's like, wait, what the fuck is happening? And wanting me to know more. I'm sad that it took so long.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they have a second season, and I hope that the second season gives us more crazy.
Yeah.
But in a good way. I can't wait to see how the end of this season plays out and where we're going with this all, because...
Yeah, and we have another fucking hiatus. Come on, guys!
Yeah. But, by the time this episode goes out for release, I'm sure the hiatus will be over.
Yes, but we'll probably have another one.
Probably.
They're just going so slow.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh. So final thoughts. This is another like 8 out of 10 kind of episode for me because I'm on this insanity train. I want to know where we're going, but I think again it's one of those where I'm asking more questions than I'm getting answers to. We still don't know what's happening with Galvin.
Nope.
We don't know if Dr. Julia is alive.
I feel like they wouldn't cliffhanger that until after we'd seen her injured if she was going to be injured. So
I don't think she's going to be dead. I don't think he's going to kill her. I think something else is going to happen, but I don't know what. And
yeah, I feel like the point of that particular cliffhanger scene was just to show how affected Parker is. I don't feel like it was to convey the idea that Dr. Julia is unable to help him.
Right.
It's just that he looks really fucking scary.
Yeah, he is terrifying. And amazing looking.
Smoking.
Yes. The other thing that I think is also very, very interesting is she does the human serum was working. Mm-hmm. And he needs a couple of injections of this demon blood stuff. And then he can go back on the human serum and hopefully it'll work again. And this is where I'm like, this is again one of those moments where it's like more questions than answers. Because is it going to work?
It might not. I mean, it depends on whether or not Alistair's ultimate goal was to have Parker contact him or whether his end could be met either way. Maybe all his goal for Parker was that he just knew Dr. Julia was doing the serum thingy and he just wanted to reverse the effects of that and then he could move on with the next part of his plan. Maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't about contacting him at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he knew that wouldn't happen.
There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered, and I don't know if we're going to get answers. And I'm still slightly confused about what Alistair's goal is with getting Parker and Maggie together.
Who knows?
Because it sounds a little bit like he's trying to get them together so he can be the one to rip them apart.
Maybe?
Or
maybe there's something we don't yet know about them being together that accomplishes something that he has waiting in the wings.
Or he's trying to get them together so that he can turn Parker and have Parker kill her. Because if they are together and Maggie trusts him completely, then once he goes complete and utter dark side, she won't see it coming. Because that's the only other option that I can personally think of.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, 21st, get here already. Let's find out.
Yeah. We done?
I think so.
All right. We have no sign off.